Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Giftogu. I'm a Nigerian YouTuber, and in today's video we have a very special guest, a highly requested guest, a troublemaker extraordinary, a no-nonsense woman, my mother. Ladies and gentlemen, meet my mother. Her name is Blessing. I can't tell you all her name, so you will not know her identity. Her name is Blessing. We call her Blair Blair. We don't call her, people call her Blair Blair or Auntie Blair, Auntie Ngo. Me, I call her Blair Blair or Blair, like what her family members call her Blair, right? Yeah. Her family members call her Blair. So I like to call her Blair to look for trouble. To look for trouble. Say hi.
Hi.
Give a little introduction about my mother. Number one, she had a very, very hard life. You see those Nollywood hard life, they are learning lessons where hard life comes from. She had a difficult life. Her parents died when she was young after giving birth to plenty children. I left the children for nobody to take care of. I left them to hustle and be suffering up and down. Despite all odds, against all odds, she has a bachelor's degree. She graduated top of her class, so we don't have any excuse in this house not to do well in school because she graduated top of her class despite the hardship. So there's no reason why you should not do well in school. On my WhatsApp stories, a lot of people know my mother because I post about her, I talk about her so much, and everybody wants to know her. They want to, they like her, basically, people like her. She's quite likable. And I said I was going to make a video with her, and everybody was so excited. They are so excited. And we have a lot of questions to ask her today. Questions that you're afraid to ask your own mother. You know,
It's quite a pleasure being here. So grateful to come on air with my dearly beloved daughter. I came from a very poor and a humble background. The fifth daughter and the sixth child of the family. We were very, very close in my family. The thing that has continued to be a bond, there's something like a bond in my family. We are united in love. And that was the thing that our mother in particular, planted in us. And that thing has helped us until now. And anywhere I go, any relationship, any family, would like to unite. And that is all because with peace, then you can get progress. And our father died earlier, before, when we were younger, much younger. So our mother took over. My elder brother didn't know that the father died when our mother was helping until sometime our mother died too. And now don't announce that all is no longer or was no longer well. So that was what happened. And even to finish secondary school was a tug of war. And I was somehow, by his grace, that have been endowed by a little intelligent by the
Almighty. Not a little, you're trying to be humble.
Almighty God. In fact, I used to tell my children now that if the opportunity we have given to them academically, if I have it, I don't know, I would have been one of the permanent secretaries today. Quotes. I don't want to thank God because I know that the beginning of a thing is not always easy. But what I believe is that the end will surely be better than the beginning. So that is it. So, as it happened, after secondary school here and there, I managed to get a work with my brother, with the help of my elder brother. Started working immediately I left secondary school. You know what it means. So I really want to thank God that God has spared my life until this. But it wasn't long enough. I got married to the father of this creative writer. Yeah? So, and I don't know. I had a punctured marriage anyway. She was 3 years. In short, I waited for up to 4 years plus before she was conceived. And she was the dearly beloved of the father and myself also. So when tragedy struck, that I lost the father at a very tender age, became a widow at the age of 30 years.
It was less than 10. You
It
were less
was
than
30.
You were less than 30. He died in April. His birthday was in July.
It's almost now.
So yeah.
So
it
I was
29
almost I was almost 30 years before the father. So it was like the end has come. And that time I had intention of going back to school. And after the burial, so I saw in this girl, in fact, the bundle of intelligence. I saw in her a child of consolation. The only consolation I had at that particular point in time was her. Until tomorrow, she is still the love of my life, in quotes. So, as God will have it, after the burial and after every other thing, started working in the ministry, Federal Ministry of Housing, from housing, works and housing, urban development, just crawling, and with the help of God and the help of those friends that God blessed me with, I was able to secure a bachelor degree. So, and I had 2-1.
And she was the best in her graduating class.
So experience. And I want to tell us, it wasn't an easy thing for me to be a young woman. Under that time, if you want help from somebody, they want to use you, they say, oh, you don't want, please go on your own. And God raised people that were there. I had female friends that were there for me. On the sofa, in our sitting room, she was there like reading. What are you reading? One newspaper that was there. What is it? She was reading as if she was preparing for work. I said, what are you reading? A book now. I want to read this. What are you reading? I'm reading now. So that was how I knew that she has interest and she has that innate abilities of that creative and writing. So what I did immediately, when I was coming back from school, we were living in First Tag that time, crossing road to go to school, coming back, I will buy all those small novels that cost 15 naira. Tunde on the Run, without a silver spoon, Chicken and the River. So if most of the times I bought 5, I bought 10. I kept it on the table.
No, you don't keep them. You read them first of all. You actually did read them.
So when I read and now I say, oh yeah, go. Before you know it, I say, where is this book? This guy. He said, I finished. He said, I'm giving it to this. I said, it's a lie. I told you to read. He said, Mommy, I've read it. Tell me what you read. That was how her creative abilities started. And to cut the story short was that, in fact, she is blessed. When he got to, I started taking care of her, chose the secondary school she was to go by his grace. Through the help of my husband, we put her from all the way from Lagos to Adventist Secondary Technical College or Warrenta. And that was where her creative abilities were developed. That is where we started. And I want to tell us to be a widow at a younger age. I don't pray that anybody, even my enemy, if I have, anyway, I don't even have enemy. If I have, I won't pray that that person will have such an experience. It was a very ugly situation, but I thank God today that God has wiped away my tears.
Amen. In this day and age, some parents basically lie to their children about sex education. Instead of telling them the truth, especially African parents, like they instill fear in their children, and instead of giving them like the right sex education, they start telling them that if a man touches you, he gets pregnant. So they don't tell them about abstinence, about using protection, about even like this HPV vaccine, because there's so much you can do as a parent. You can tell your child to abstain, but you're not following your child to school. So if you don't give the child that proper sex education, the child might have issues and all. So you're into sociology, social studies, social whatever. That's what you studied. So what do you think about this? Because I know I had a conversation with you regarding Mimi, and you said you told Mimi to take the HPV vaccine, and some parents were like, oh, they don't want their children to take that vaccine because their children are not having sex at 16 years old or something like that. So yeah.
When a man touches you, you get pregnant, and that is the type of thing that the parents, teach the children. And most of the times when they want to try, you see clothes, nothing happened. They want you to come close again. So it's better for you to tell them that it's not when a man touches you or touches you become pregnant. That's something, the act must surely be what? Performed. And there are other ways of preventing pregnancy or whatever. So when you are teaching them, you open up. But you're not encouraging them to go and try so that they will go and take contraceptive or whatever, because it will not be doing them any good.
So you think it's okay for your daughter that is 16 years to get a HPV vaccine when you know that the HPV, the virus is gotten from?
Of course, they said
parents don't have like a good relationship with their children. They're always shouting, they're always beating their children. Do you know when we're going with it? You know, yeah, I don't think we're beating. But then the thing is, when you finish shouting at somebody, I used to start crying. Like, just like I asked Ebere Chukwu said her parents, they don't beat her, but they're always shouting. So, like, there's some children now have trauma, like regarding all the beatings that they've gotten from their parents. Some have injuries here and there. So, what do you have to say about like using that kind of violence to raise children?
I don't believe in violent training or beating, because you will not get it right. Because at times, say you want to beat or flog, a child might continue or may finally grow up to know that, it's only flogging or beating. Last, that's what they will do. After all, flog me. After all, that's all. And you see them becoming hooligans. And so when you get the consent of your children early, become your gist partner, especially the female child, even the boys too.
Yes, the boys.
Especially even as I have known this experience. Now even my little boy, now he's a very grown-up boy in essence too. Life is all about. And they say when somebody is standing, what a young person is seeing when he's standing. Yeah?
So most people, when they're even sitting down,
they will not.
So most people don't used to see anything.
Okay,
but you know that's true.
But what I'm saying, there are different kinds. It's part of what I learned in school too. Different approaches or different types of leadership roles. When you add this one, you add this one. It's not every time you do that less severe attitude. Okay? There's this one, not every time permissive and whatever. At times you allow the children to make mistake and find their way. But I'm not talking about costly mistakes or small things like that.
They're always insulting their children, calling them pneumonia,
That is not good. It has a very psychological effect on the part of the children. And at times they feel like, so I worth nothing.
Yeah, and they can grow up to have low self-esteem.
And I want to tell us that any family that have the custom or the tradition of beating the children, when the children grows up, they will feel that is how, especially when the family, the husband and the wife is always fighting. Go to that family, one or two of them, that is how. At least one or two members of the family members, the children, will be beaten, and they feel that it is normal. It's a normal thing.
Exactly.
I have it in my family where I came from. That one, the husband and wife will be running up and down. Before you know, it's even to the extent of trying to hit. At the end, it was transferred to the first child and even the second son too. The first son is late now with the wife, but thank God the children have survived anyway. They will carry, even the man will be, when he become annoyed, will carry a pot of soup of the wife, brought it outside and pour spit on it to make sure that, to tell you how annoyed he was. So annoyance have not helped anybody.
And then there are some people that also make food every day. Like they used to make fresh food every day. You can't do that. Why?
And I thank God I did not get anybody that would say I should be cooking every day. They don't want to eat
fresh food. You don't want to eat food that is in the fridge.
Says who? For this present dispensation, I would now that I'm so occupied with work in this. And try to tell us whether old or young marriage is understanding anyway. Yeah. So what we are saying, even my husband and I is the one that taught me how to do cut okazi. You know what okazi is all about. I didn't know how to do it from home. He taught me. He helped out in so many other things. That is by the way. Mm-hmm.
So you think that is understanding and it's not necessary like, a particular person is supposed to do a particular thing, because I think that's an unfair arrangement anyway. Do you understand?
Nonsense aren't nonsense. People should be given equal opportunity. And in this new dispensation, in the civilized world we are in, both boys and girls are children, blessings from God, and should be treated as such. If we are blessed with boys and girls, to God be the glory. So if it's only girls, I'm not, advising any woman to continue giving. Like that was what happened in my family. My family, we were 10. After the first child, a boy, my mother had 7 girls like that, although one died at infancy. So 6 of us like that. I told us that I was the 5th child of the family.
You know the 5th child?
Okay, fifth daughter, yes. So, they were still looking for boys.
And they don't have anything that the boys will inherit. Nothing to inherit, though. Nothing to inherit. Then what if, like, maybe your daughter now, like Mimi now, somebody wants to now marry her, train her in school?
No. I don't want that kind of, it's a kind of bondage.
Yeah.
At times when somebody will show up, say, I want to train. The person might grow up when going to school there, now see somebody that is much better, even the love of the person's life. Now I say, and already you have been engaged and you are taking the money of the person. It becomes an abomination. Anything can happen. So I want to thank God. God has blessed.
So the next question is, so both of us have such a good relationship. I tell you about everything, especially like relationships. And like I said earlier, most African parents, they don't encourage dating. They just want you to go to school and study, and then when you're done with your studies, you should produce a husband. But then, like, you knew all the boyfriends that I had, you knew them all, and you did not like discourage me from dating. You just felt that you've done a good job, and I don't know how to explain it. I felt you've done a good job, and like you usually know about all of them. So how did that happen? Like, especially coming from an African home where you're not like very close to your mom, and then having to be a parent for the first time and like kind of getting it right basically. So how did that happen?
There had been a very good communication gap between us right from that tender age. That even when the father, as I said before, she was the love of the whole family, and the father wanted her to study medicine, as the first child, and the daughter that she has been waiting for came and said, oh, this girl, you're going to do medicine or whatever. So, I don't know the grammar that I will use. The situation changed as a result of the death of the father. When the father was sick, I came home. I told her, we are living in First Stack. I told her that he was sick. And lo and behold, one of the ugliest days of my life, I came back home crying. And they said, Mommy, what is it? I said, your daddy is there. They say, yeah. And she knew that the daddy was in the hospital. So after the whole thing, she now became close, was cleaning my tears. Please don't cry again. Don't cry again. When the burial arrangement was completed and we had to travel, so we went to Bagada General Hospital where his body was deposited, carried the corpse as young as 3 years and 8 months. So when we are going, we reached our village at Aba. When they were doing the burial, she saw canopy, people were cooking. The next morning, I say, hey, they're doing party in my house, in party. Some people say yes. So when it was time for the burial to take effect proper, because we don't carry corpse to the church, we are Seventh Adventists. We did the burial right in front of our house there. So the father, as we went to see pay the last respect, so I carried her. You saw the father lying there in the casket.
I think he had this cotton wool in his
so she saw the cotton wool, and they now said, go doctor, go nurses, let them come and do my daddy. So people were just, the people were waiting for us outside. We were inside the parlor before the casket was closed. People started crying. Mommy! That time the elder sister to the husband collected her from me. She was like,
the older sister to the
the father now.
You said to the husband.
To the okay, sorry, we are going to play this. The elder sister to the father collected her from me, and everybody was like crying. And I say, she repeated, "Go doctor, go nurse." Oh, nurses. Let them come and do my daddy. So at the end of the day, the casket was closed and was finally, after the church service was lowered. And that was why it wasn't, we stayed 2 or 3 days. We were asked to go back to Lagos. When we went back, we now had to face the music again. One of those days we entered our toilet, she was there with me. I said, Emma, I said, baby, you're going to be a doctor. Your daddy say you're going to be a doctor. I said, Mommy, I will not be that doctor again. No, I will not be that doctor again. I said, why not? They did not do my daddy now. And that was how she lost interest in that one. And we have been so close. And as I told you, I now saw that innate ability of reading and writing in her. I encouraged her by buying those books. And when she finished secondary school, she went to school. From there, we were just talking. That time they were not allowed to carry phone. And when I didn't even have phone, I had to buy phone for her, first of all, when she came back, so that she will follow other people and do now. So that relationship had been there. And first of all, when she finished secondary school, even secondary school, she now told me about that trick to somebody or whatever. I said, for what? Okay, that was in year 1. Year 1. He said, Mommy, this
I
one.
can't remember.
I said, please, I said, please. And I had to collect phone from her and talk to the boy. I said, come on. Thank God you people have found yourselves in the higher institution. Please. The only focus is your academics and nothing more. And that was how that relationship got. And I want to tell you, till today, till now that she has finally found the love of her life, she always open up to me and tell me about whoever. I might not know them facially. Many of them are doing it. I'm not saying that there were so many, but anybody that came on board, she will tell me. I will know the name, I will know everything about those people. So that was how she was so open to me. And I know that by the grace of God, that thing helped her to, pattern her life and made her to, because if anybody she's dating knows that the mother and the parents is aware, the person will be very, very cautious.
So you think it's better for people, like for parents, to be open to the idea of their children
very
dating
good, because
and want to know who their children are?
Yes, it's better for you to know the type of friends your children keep, so that you will know. Because somebody will say, or an adage said, show me your friend, and I will tell you the type of person you are. So she always remembered the type of family she came from. And she just made, in fact, I am her gist partner. The things she cannot tell me, she finds it difficult to tell her. Only now that she has a better partner. Yes. So I'm not jealous anyway. I'm happy. I am so proud of her because she coordinated herself, focused on whatever thing she wants to do, and she made sure that she achieved a desired good. And whatever thing that was in my power, irrespective of how little that I must surely make sure that I give her first encouragement and attempt.
And some families, like the siblings, they're always like in chaos. They're always like fighting. But here we actually have like a very good relationship. Everybody, like, we even play games, we talk on phone. We have such an amazing relationship, like, with everybody, and all of that. All the siblings are in peace, and like there's so much love, like, amongst the siblings. So how did that happen? And for parents that are like struggling to make their children have peace, like, not this one fighting this one, they can't stand each other. So what advice do you
That is
have?
a very thoughtful,
especially coming from a blended family. Do you understand? Some people that are like the same mother, the same father, they can't even stand each other. And then it's a blended family, and like everybody is like in peace.
A heterogeneous family.
Yeah.
As I said before, I came from a family that loved peace and unity. Right from the time, as much as we are, we were always, especially the most senior members of the family, we are eating together, and we are eating our own. So anytime we are eating, everybody will gather together. Right from time, that bond was created by our parents, especially our mother. And even when they were no more, that bond is still there. Even in my family today, irrespective of different religious background or whatever, we are united, neatly united. And that is why when one person is crying, every other person is crying. When one is happy, all of us are happy. And I think we transferred it to our own family too, from me in particular. And that is what my siblings do.
Yeah,
We
because
don't.
people are always in peace.
We are
like,
in peace.
yeah.
We are in peace. You can't see us, in fact, raising our for what now? So that thing has been there right from time. You can't see sibling conflict among the siblings. It's never done in my family. We didn't see it, and you can't see it in my family. Even here, with the heterogeneous family, it's not an easy thing, I want to tell us, to combine children of the other woman and the children of the other man together. But God has been at the center. When you make God your all and all will be well.
And I'm saying
I'm
people
not
that used to
saying,
make it.
I'm telling you, I'm not saying that it has been easy. It's only God and God alone. But I want to thank God there is absolute peace.
It's wise for like women to get married without having any job or anything to do. Will you advise anybody that you know to be a housewife? Let's start with that.
It depends on choice. If somebody chooses to do so, I will not stop the person.
But like your,
But I won't encourage it. My own.
So you know,
If somebody, some people will be in, they will be undergraduate. They say they want to get married. What do you do? You allow them now.
Yeah, but you're not allowed down for your
It
children.
did not happen in my own. And I know it will. I don't have them plenty anyway.
Thank you. So what final words do you have to say regarding maybe parents that are struggling with building relationships with their children?
You should start early, so that when you start early, to continue will not be a problem. Igbo people say "Anamu aka ake pananka." You don't learn how to use your left hand when you have overgrown. You must start at the early stage. Give that environment. Create that environment that your child, your daughter, your son will be very, very free to tell you anything. And nothing she doesn't tell me. Even as she is, wherever she is going, even now, she tells me. The only thing is that I'm no longer controlling her. Even before, I have not been controlling her. She's a very stubborn girl, as you see her.
You're not controlling me before.
So I just gave her that opportunity because I know that it's God that I gave her created environments, and she is open and open and open. And that thing has really paved the way. And even for whichever relationship she entered, she tells me, as I said before, whenever she quits, she tells me, and she had nothing to regret in those days. So that's the thing. And now that she has finally found the love of her life, I pray that God will bless their marriage with everything good in life and make their home a little heaven here on earth. Amen.
Thank you for coming to this channel today. Yeah, this is a highly requested video. You have plenty fans. You have a lot of fans like that, always like, oh my god, like I like your mom and all of that. She's a very good teacher. Like I don't know how to explain it though. She's a very good teacher. Like if she teaches you understand. And she's very, very intelligent. Oh my god, she's very, very smart, very intelligent, and all of that. She knows though. She just tries to form humility here, fake humility. But she knows if she tells us that her brain is computer, so you can imagine. So she knows that she's very intelligent. So I decided to bring her here today since this is like a highly requested video. So she'll sit down here and give us like the gems on parenting, relationships, like having good relationships with your parents, marriage, and every other thing. Like she said, she's not going to encourage you to marry when you don't have any job. Don't do that. It's a trap. Don't do it. Except it's what you want to do anyway. Like, but it's not something that she
Final word.
Okay.
Final word for the parents out there. Create an enabling environment for your children to open up to you. And for you younger ones, open up. If you don't open up and you go and open up to another person, you might endanger your life.